Hello, welcome back, and it's monthly haul time. I know you're excited. Now, this month's haul is actually going to be shorter than normal because I didn't go absurdly crazy with buying books this month. Yay me! Let's start out this month with book box books, and the first book box I got was my Unplugged book box, in which I got The Swap by Robin Harding. This book is about, I don't know, it's like swapping husband and wives, like swinger things, and then like a psychotic girl who is not part of the swap but does something psychotic. It doesn't sound good. I have no idea what's going on. For my Coffee and the Classic book this month, I got a gorgeous edition of Moby Dick. It's just pretty. I have no desire to read Moby Dick, but the book's really pretty and it's gonna look real good on my bookshelf. Both of those book boxes have unboxings. I will link them in the eye. The next book box I have is my Bookishly subscription, which I have canceled because I'm just not, it's not doing well. I have two separate Bookishly subscriptions. One of them is a book, a classic book with a new, pretty, custom designed cover, and a tea and a bookmark is what you get out of there. The book this month was Thomas Hardy's Tess of the Ubervilles, and the cover's pretty. This is supposed to be a very good, very depressing book, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to reading it. These are just book jackets. The cover underneath this is the ugliest thing in the world, which I don't know how they do that. And then it came with a bookmark, but I got this bookmark last month, so it's just a repeat bookmark that I already got. And then the tea that came with it was the Tea of the D'Urbervilles, which is a fruit blossom rooibos tea. It's okay. So out of the 3 months of subscriptions that I'm getting this is the only book that I've actually liked, the only cover that I've actually liked, but not worth the overall cost of the box. The other subscription that I get is supposed to be a vintage book, which is like a used book, a bookmark that is not related to the vintage book at all, and coffee. I'm gonna tell you right now, I drank the coffee and threw it away. It was coffee. It tasted like regular coffee. It wasn't anything special at all. But for the second month in a row, they were unable to source the vintage book. Last month they sent me like another one of those. It wasn't the same copy, it was a different book entirely, but that's where I have the duplicate bookmark from. This month they sent me a vintage mini book of Liberty by Virginia Woolf, which is like a selections from Virginia Woolf works. It's not even like full works by Virginia Woolf, it's just some selections from Room of One's Own, The Waves, and The Street Haunting, and other essays. So it's not even like the full copies of these things. Also, this is imported from the UK, and I pay something like £13, £10. I think I paid £10 for the vintage one and £13 for that one, and a lot of that, I pay that to get a vintage book, not whatever the fuck this crap is. And then this is, like, the price is on the back of it. It's, focus. It's £3.50 and you're charging me $10 for a £3.50 book that's not vintage? What the fuck is that? If you can't source a book, don't send me anything. Give me my money back. So I canceled both the subscriptions. Obviously they can't get their shit together, and this is another failed book box on my end. The bookmark for this is something by H.G. Wells. It's a piece of paper. It's not worth any money. But yeah, I was very, very perturbed by that, if you didn't catch my anger there. Next up in the book box department, I've got my Book of the Month Club. And as you guys know, you pick your own book of the month, but by the time I actually get around to opening this, I never remember what book I bought. So, oh yeah. This month it's The Shadows by Alex North. I also have an e-arc, or no, I also have an arc of this audiobook. So I will be reading / listening to this month. I actually started it. I'm like 1 chapter in. So there you go. You knew a teenager like Charlie Crabtree, a dark imagination, a sinister smile, always on the outside of the group. Some part of you suspected he might be capable of doing something awful. 25 years ago, Crabtree did just that, committing a murder so shocking that it attracted the strange kind of infamy that only exists on the darkest corners of the internet. It has inspired more than one copycat. Paul Adams remembers the case all too well. Crabtree and his victim were Paul's friends. Paul has slowly put his life back together, but now his mother, old and suffering from dementia, has taken a turn for the worse. Though every inch of him resists, it is time to come home. It's not long before things start to go wrong. Paul learns that Detective Amanda Beck is investigating another copycat that has struck in the nearby town of Featherbank. His mother is distressed, insistent that there is something in the house and someone is following him, which reminds him of the most unsettling thing about the awful day 25 years ago. It wasn't just the murder, it was the fact that afterwards, Charlie Crabtree was never seen again. Ooh, spooky! But yeah, so, thriller. So that covers the subscription box books that I've got for this month. If you guys are interested in me getting a different subscription box, just let me know. I love doing unboxings. So if you have one that you're not sure you want to subscribe to, maybe it's not as popular as like Fairy Loot or what you normally see on YouTube, let me know in the comments and I can probably add it to my list since I've canceled one of them. Speaking of subscription boxes, let's unbox some tea. I'm already spilling the tea, might as well unbox some. Alright, so last month's tea. Alright, the first tea I got last month was a blood orange tea by Harney & Sons. I threw it away, it was awful. Then I had Happy Tea, which was, I don't know, it was some like fancy health nut type tea recommended that you drink in Australia by Australian doctors or something like that. It was just tea. It tasted fine. There was nothing special about it. Then I got Breakfast in Paris, which was a black tea with lavender, which was freaking delicious. I loved it. Highly recommend. Then the last one I got was Calm by Healthy Teas, and that was also lavender, but a caffeine-free lavender. It's really good. I kind of just started mixing together the Breakfast in Paris and the Calm to get like a really strong lavender flavor out of my teas. I also mix Calm with Earl Grey tea, and that tastes really good as well. But it's kind of weak by itself. For August teas, and this comes in July, even though it says August, just so you know why I unbox it with July's unboxings. This is what we've got. So the first thing we've got is the Moringa Superfood Energy Infusion Moringa Vanilla Oolong Grape Tea. Super high caffeinated. It's supposed to be like a coffee replacement, which is probably why it looks like a coffee bag. And I like oolong tea. I don't know what this is going to taste like, but I'm eager to try it. Next up, I've got these little packets, which is Cranberry Blood Orange from the Republic of Tea, and these are round tea bags, which is kind of cool. This is again high caffeine, which I like. This is Cranberry Blood Orange Black Tea from the Republic of Tea. I like blood orange, I like cranberries, I like black tea. I'm happy. Next up, I've got this little package right here, Organic Asam Black Tea. So it's organic black tea from India. This is it's black tea. I like black tea. I'm good with this. Final one in here is Olive and Dingo's color changing tea. What? What is this? This is a naturally sweet herbal tea with peach, mango, and coconut. What? I'm just color changing tea? This blended lovingly with organic ingredients, the tea's magical color changing properties are thanks to butterfly pea flowers, a Thai herb that when mixed with citrus turns your tea purple. What? We're gonna experiment with this at the end of this video. So if you want to see purple tea, I'm gonna make a cup at the end of this video. But we're just gonna get to the very, very small stack of books that I bought. Look at this. This is the only books I bought this month. Aren't you proud of me? I'm proud of me. Technically, I bought more books than that. They just haven't shown up yet. So we'll see them in August. The first three were part of the order that I made in June to an independent Black-owned bookstore, and three of the books that I had ordered were sold out, so I had to wait for them to get back in stock before she sent them to me. The first one is Babel 17 by Samuel Delaney, and then Empire Star by Samuel Delaney. It's one of those where the book turns upside down halfway through, so if you read it this way you get one book, if you read it this way you get another book. I don't know a whole lot about this. I bought it specifically for Babel and it just came with the other book, but this was a Nebula Award winner science fiction, and apparently it's really good. Next up, I purchased The Invisible Man by Ralph Ellison. This is another book written by a Black author, and it is about, if I remember correctly, because there are no synopsis on any of these books, this is about how it feels to be like an invisible Black man, not like the science fiction Invisible Man. This is more about feeling invisible as, or non-human as a Black man, or the Black experience. And then the last book I purchased from that order that I've already read was The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This is about a young Black girl in a fairly poor community, but she goes to a private school and she has a lot of white friends, a white boyfriend. She is in a car with one of her Black friends when he is shot and killed by a police officer, and it's her struggling with her two different selves, her Black facing self that she presents at home and with her Black community, and then the like quiet white self that she presents at school with her white friends, and how she struggles with the social racism she sees towards this boy who was killed by a police officer because of course the police and the press are going to vilify him and say he's like a drug dealer and a gangbanger, when to her he's just a friend, somebody she grew up with, somebody she had to watch die. Very, very moving and powerful, very relevant. Even if you're not Black, I highly recommend, I highly recommend this book to like non-people of color to get a well-paced, although fictional, representation of a different life than you will ever lead. I know that never in my life have I been afraid of a police officer, and this put me into a place where I could imagine like how horrible it would be just to fear for your life every time you saw a police officer instead of feeling protected. So very, very, very highly recommend this one. And the final book I purchased was the book for my book club book this month, or last month, which was The Bells by Danielle Clayton. This was okay. I read it already. It's a 3-star. This is like weirdly like super, super heavy for a paperback. I have no idea why this book is so incredibly heavy, which is a tangent, but yes. The Bells by Danielle Clayton. It was okay. If you liked Red Queen or The Selection, you'll probably like this. It's the same story, just there was the same outline with a different story slotted in. So, okay, not great. So who would ever expect that clear coffee mugs would come in so useful? I have a little bag of my color changing tea and a steaming hot fluff in my face, a steaming hot mug of boiling or hot water. It's not boiling. And we're gonna stick our tea bag in here and see what it do. Okay, it's been a few minutes and I'm back and I can report that it's definitely blue. Let's see if I can hold this against the white wall, but it's definitely blue. There was no color changing going on, but I don't think I've ever had blue tea before. So definitely blue, no color changing, but Gatorade, some Gatorade ass looking tea going on here. It tastes like perfume. Like a violety perfume is what it tastes like, just in case you were wondering. It's not bad, but very perfumey. But I'm down with some blue tea. It's fun even if it doesn't actually change colors. And that's everything for this month. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.